चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापतिकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं जयं रघुनाथं साद्वैतं सावधूतं कीर्तनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान सहितं श्री विशाखान्वितं हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी परमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So we are here. Sorry for the delay. Some technical difficulties, and we're trying. Going through just one more thing. If you have a wireless mouse, it may help. Okay. So everyone can see my screen, hopefully. So, Prabhu, all okay?
Yes, Prabhuji, we can see your screen.
And you can hear me?
Yes, Prabhuji, can you hear very, very nicely and clear?
ఏంది డాడీ
You switched on, Prabhu? I'll put the mouse here. इसमें लगा दूंगा देखो आप चेक कर लीजिए otherwise we'll try without it. Okay, so let's start. Last week we started from 258, so let's continue. So this is the last section. Hare Krishna. Okay. Okay, thank you. The last section of this chapter, we already done 3 previous sections here. So first one was Jnana Yoga or Sankhya Yoga, where we read 2:11 to 2:30, which was referring to the compassion argument of Arjuna, the first 20 verses, and then we read the second section was Karma Kanda. Anyone remembers the number of Karma Kanda section? PDF file you can look on your laptops, or you can also print it out and you can carry few pages. You can 37 to 38, I guess. And the third section was after 38, Nishkam Karma Yoga, which is what we have just finished, and now we are entering into the characteristics of Isthit Pragya. So what was the question of Arjuna in 254? Anyone online? Vinay Prabhu, you remember the question of Arjuna in 254?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yeah.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah, Arjuna actually asked the question to Krishna, who is the Sthita Praggo, and what is his like speech, like what, how he talk, and how his action, and yeah, so Sthita Praggo ka bhasha samadhistha keshava sthitodhi king prabhashita kim ashita bhajet kim. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So 4 questions he asked. The first one was symptoms. What are the symptoms? Bhasha refers to the symptom. Bhasha, bhashya, description. Kim Bhasha, Prabha said, Kim Asit. Asit was the second one. How does he sit down? What does it refer to? Sitting down? How does he control his senses? Thank you. So this is the section which we just finished last week. And the third question was, Kim Asit Brijit Kim. How does he walk? It goes around in the word. So what does it mean? How does he walk? Which style? What does it mean? How does he respond to the temptation? So these are the 4 questions which Arjun asked. We have covered 2 questions already. Somehow the transition is not smooth. Anyway, we'll try. So this is the question which we are referring from 258 to 263, which is the third question. How does he Asi? How does he sits down? How does he control his senses? So 258. 258. Okay, Prabhuji, you can do.
Translation, I'll read the translation. One who is able to withdraw his senses from the sense objects, as the tortoise draws its limbs within the shell, he is firmly fixed in perfect Krishna consciousness. Basically, the qualities of the person who is engaged in fully engaged in the Krishna consciousness is that such person is able to avoid any temptations that come in his way while dealing with the external world. And the comparison is made to the similar to as the tortoise withdraws its limbs when he detects any danger. Similarly, the person who is fully engaged in the service of Krishna consciousness, he withdraws his senses from any external temptations when they come.
Yep. Thank you, Prabhuji. Can we also do some Sanskrit words? It's perfect explanation, but it's just we can be closer to the Sanskrit. It's nicer. So yada saharate cha ayam kurmunga niva sarvashah. So saharate regulation. Kurma is kurma avatar. Anga niv, anga limbs of sarvasah, all the limbs. So kurma, what does kurma does? When a threat comes, what does he do? He withdraws his limbs inside the shell. His shell is very hard to penetrate, so that's how he protects himself. So a saharate, a yogi will protect himself. How? Indriyani. Indriyani refers to senses. Indriyarthevya. Indriya artha. Artha refers to the subject of the senses, the sense objects. I see a beautiful picture, say a cinema movie poster. Oh, nice movie, huh? Nice hero, nice heroine, Amrish Puri or whatever, I get attracted. Is it? That's what happens. This is advertisement. Or you see a nice advertisement of a watch. Oh, very nice watch. What if I get the watch? Something like that. Huh? We get attracted just by this advertisement. Some people, one of the devotee was telling his friend, it's very nice thing. They're looking at a bird somewhere in the park. Huh? So this devotee said, such a nice bird, huh? Very nice. And the second person said, oh, really very nice bird. So they were both in agreement in the first sentence. The second sentence, he said, I wish I could eat it. That was the second sentence. So this devotee was completely, I'm just appreciating the beauty of the bird. And you're saying, yes, bird is very beautiful. And the immediate thought which comes in their mind, kill and eat. So Indriyani Indriyarthebhya. So you're looking at the same scene, but what the impact is quite different. So Indriya Artha. Artha refers to whatever Indriya senses are interested in. So if you are able to withdraw your senses from the sense objects, which many times we are not able to, isn't it? Advertisement comes, we give in. Oh, very nice. Tasya pragya pratisthita. That person is known as pragya. Intelligence is pratisthita, very solid situated. So the other way we can understand, we are not able to control our senses towards the sense objects. So we are not pragya pratisthita. That's why we are we are called struggling sadhakas. We are struggling devotees. We are not yet devotees, but we are on the path. Okay, thank you. If anyone has any other points, you can share. 259. We'll do one online, one offline. Sakhi Radhika Mataji, Hare Krishna. Would you like to do 259? Oh, that's a famous one.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Though the embodied soul may be restricted from sense enjoyment, the taste for sense objects remains. But ceasing such engagements by experiencing a higher taste, he is fixed in consciousness. Here in this verse, the two things which we revised was Dehi and Deha. Dehi is Atma and Deha is body. So like in practicing, Vini Vartate we did, where it was saying not giving proper ahar to our senses. Like so what I understood from this verse was that sometimes so much the process of restriction from sense enjoyment by rules and regulation is something like restricting a deceased person from certain types of eatables. Similarly, sense restrictions by some spiritual process, like different is so. What I understood from here is that sorry, my daughter is asking me something and she's
No
just
problem.
on my head.
Right.
So that's why.
Okay, all right. My son is also asking something.
She's just around me, so I'm not able to concentrate. And
No problem. It's all okay. It's all okay.
Prabhuji, can I try on this one? So Prabhuji, in this verse, we discussed that how we have to have a higher taste instead of a lower taste.
Sorry, Mataji, can I stop you for 1 second? What we can try as a group, I'm saying, just try to translate the verse first and then go to the explanation. Huh? We can try. We'll fail. That's okay. We are learning. We are all learning. So we can pick up at least some words and slowly this will expand. So let's pick up the words first and then we can expand what the message of the verse is. And if we don't know, absolutely okay. I also don't know. I keep referring to the synonyms. So we're learning. So Vishaya. Vishaya refers to?
Objects for sense enjoyment.
Vishay, huh? हम लोग Vishay. In Hindi, there's a word Vishay, like which subject you are studying, huh? Which Vishay. So Vishay means where I'm interested in. Huh? Someone interested in movies, someone interested in boxing, someone in sports, and blah blah blah, whatever. So Vishaya. Vinivartante. Vinivartante means restraining from. Now this Vinivarte combines back to 258. 258 is what he's talking about, binding up the senses, isn't it? From sense objects. Same thought patterns going on. So he's saying, first he said, withdraw your senses. The second is saying, if you keep continuing, withdraw, 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 can you sustain for a long time? The answer is no, isn't it? Always withdraw. It's like, come on, you're always Ekadashi. Sometimes we have to have Dwadashi. Huh? We all love Dwadashi. Morning. This time the breakfast time was 10:30. Everyone was waiting. Very short period, 5 minutes. Huh? So we can relate very nicely. So Vishaya Vinivartante. So if you constantly withdrawing from Vishaya, huh? No, not this, not this, not this, which is what yogis do. Neti, neti. So what will there? Nirahara se dehina. You're not giving ahar, nir ahar, no ahar. Say Ekadashi example. Dehi. Now you're not giving ahar not to the body, we're talking about dehi. What's the difference here? So deha, you give ahar, like you have to give some prasadam to the deha, some water, some food needs to be given. That's fine. But what's the ahar for dehi? What's the ahar? What's the food for soul? Ideally, but not in a contaminated state. Unless you get it. But right now our taste is in what? Material world. Sense gratification. Isn't it? Watch this, get this, and big house and car and what. So nirahara se dehi naha. So what we are not giving ahar to dehi. Anywhere you are interested in sense objects will not give you. That's what you're talking about the regulation, right? Ras varjam. Varjam refers to leaving. Ras varjam. Ras refers to rasna. In India, there's a drink used to be rasna. Rasna actually is a Sanskrit word. This Prati is also known as Rasa. She's the wife of Krishna. Rasa, taste. Ras varjam. You have given up the taste. Externally, raso piya sevas. Internally, taste is there. So one day on Ekadashi, you don't eat, but does your desire go to eat? Waiting. Kab aayega Dwadashi Paran time. Full plate is ready. We are all gone through these experiences. So if you constantly withdraw Vishya Vinivartante from the Vishya, constantly withdrawing as per 258, okay, Kurma is doing that. Nirahara Siddhina, you're not giving ahar to Dehi. No movie, no play, no sports, no friends, no Acha Prasad. How long you can live like that? Huh? Just Samarjam, although you have given up Acha Prasad, so called, yogis do that, not we don't do that. We eat too much prasad. Raso piyase, but the taste is still in their mind, the taste remains. But this taste can be controlled by param drishta nivartate. Param drishta means higher taste. So this is a very important verse. We have discussed it, I think, last time. And also very practical verse. We cannot constantly withdraw. And Prabhupada gives example of, which example Prabhupada gives in this verse? Anyone remember?
Jaggery and Prabhuji Rasgulla that you
Jaggery and Rasgulla. Thank you. Very nice example. If someone wants a sweet after nice prasad, you give him a jaggery or a nice Rasgulla, probably Bengali Rasgulla. Nice one. Obviously, he will prefer Rasgulla. Why just a jaggery? But if you don't have a Rasgulla, you get jaggery. So yogis do that. They have no higher taste, so they keep withdrawing their senses. But as soon as the sense object come in front of them, they melt. And the example given of Vishwamitra Muni, he was a big yogi at this in that context we are talking. Later, obviously, he became a devotee. So initially, he was a big yogi, but when Menka Mataji came, he fell for it because he was trying to restrain without having a higher taste. Now we don't struggle with these problems. In city there's a restaurant, I forgot the name, so I've never been there. What's that vegan restaurant in Peace and Harmony? Yeah, Peace and Harmony. They sell I shouldn't even say, some mock non-vegetarian things. I don't want to say the name here. So I heard this, people who struggle changing their diet from non-veg to veg, they take help of these things. Now, Hare Krishnas don't have that problem. We get like 30-course meal 5 times in a weekend, Friday night, Saturday morning, Saturday night. We are just overfilled till here. We don't have any problem with having that option. One Mataji, I remember, she used to come to temple, still devotee. She was eating meat initially anyway. She stopped meat and she was telling me, Prabhuji, I still feel craving for that stuff. That's fine, she was just being honest. But slowly she started obviously taking prasadam, chanting 16 rounds. And now she's doing the best Ekadashi. Like she asked, can I use this oil? Can I use that? Is it okay or not okay? Just a transition period and now no issues at all. And if you ask other people, they struggle and then sometimes they give up. Oh, I switched my diet for 6 months and then I could not continue because they didn't get the higher taste. If you get the higher test, we don't struggle. How many of us go back into that diet thing? I don't think so. Ever. We cannot even think. So this is called param drishta nivartate, higher test, Prabhupada writes. Now, one word is important here, param drishta. Drishta refers to drishti. Drishti means to see. So here we are talking about seeing. But Prabhupada writes here, higher taste. So what's the difference? Drishta and taste. It refers to not only our physical drishti, it refers to our vision. Is this good for me or not good for me? Initially, you start from there. You love your sense objects, you love probably cricket or movies or whatever, but you say, oh, it's a time waste. It's not so important. Now, if you're doing for health purpose, absolutely okay. But our goal is very different, very, very different. Okay. Sorry, Sonia Mataji. Now I'll let you explain the verse.
Oh, Prabhuji, I have nothing. You explained it so nicely.
Oh, I thought I was just translating it. Okay,
Yes.
but we can try to pick up the words. They are very easy words. And if you struggle, I also struggle. Look at what Prabhupada is writing. We learn slowly, and slowly these verses will become sweet. Otherwise, when I was young and I was taught these verses, the verses were heavy for me. Why have to learn these verses? Because I did not know how to relate. Now they are sweet.
Yes. The
Okay.
only thing, Prabhuji, I would like to add on to this, that you mentioned that we should be careful that where to put our senses, and having association is also very important, good association. So we should know that where should we put our senses and where to find enjoyment and where not to find enjoyment. So in Krishna consciousness and having Ekadashi and enjoying that, and so an intelligent person knows the beauty of it. They have a higher taste. They know by restricting it for one day on Ekadashi, when you are trying to please the Lord, that has a higher taste as compared to having the mundane things or involving into mundane activities or any, prasadam, temptation. That's a very little or minute in sense gratification that and less intelligent person might be looking forward for it. So we should try and putting it in the right direction, our senses.
Thank you, Mata. It's a very nice one. So we should increase our paramdashta all the time, from all the aspects as much as possible, because the more we have higher taste, we'll not fall for the lower taste. Huh? That's nice.
The little story, Prabhuji, that you mentioned was about Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj, who ate a mango without offering to the Lord and was chastised by his father.
Actually, I have to correct myself. His father did not chastise him. His father told him that, my dear son, we also tell our kids, what you have done. It's not chastisement. Maybe next time you can do it in the right way. So actually, Bhaktivinoda Thakur only told him, but Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj took it so seriously. A 4-year-old boy, like Adil says, something like that. He took it so seriously. He said, I've offended mango. I will never. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur was not trying to tell him, oh, don't eat mango ever. Just tell him, beta, do the right thing. Huh? Offer it to Krishna first. So, yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. That's also a nice pastime. Just a side thing, what Sonia Mataji was explaining on Ekadashi by not eating food and all that. But in Hare Krishna's is completely opposite. Ekadashis we eat the most. Ekadashi plate is bigger than the normal plate.
Very
Dal chawal is okay.
Very opulent food on Ekadashi.
Baked veggie and this quinoa and then buckwheat. This Ekadashi, you won't believe how much I ate. Buckwheat, quinoa, and 2 types of buckwheat, and ye sabji, wo sabji. Sorry, Mataji. Your principle is correct, but practical. That should be the case, but usually that doesn't happen. Anyway, let's move forward. 260. So online, offline. Upcoming.
I think with relates to the previous verse, we are discussing we are very much attracted to sense enjoyment. But what we can do is here, there are a few words that relate to that previous verse. So which is vipashchita, and I think we have read this word previously as well. So even a person who has the power to discriminate, so that is vipashchita. Yatanto api kondya, even that, so even he's making a lot of yatan, so yatanto. Good. So while he's endeavoring, he's trying kondya, that purush who is having that vipashchita quality. Indriyani pramathini, jo indriya hai hamari, pramathini hai, like mathni hai, like they are always agitating. So it's in that way, even for that purush, because indriyon ki jo quality wo pramathini hai, they are agitating. Haranti prasabha mana, वो हर लेती हैं, वो हमारे मन को, हमारे mind को, they even वो हमारे mind को हर लेती हैं, so they take away that person who is even constantly making a lot of endeavor. O son of Kunti.
Thank you, Mata. Very nice. You're trying. So we covered most of the word. One more word is get prasabam. Prasabam refers to forcefully. So it's not like simply, no, forcefully. A person is trying to get away from sense objects, but forcefully. Indriyas are so strong. And that's what Bhagavatam says, Vidwanam api karshyati. Vidwan means a person who is very knowledgeable. He can also get attracted. So that's why we should never, a sadhu, a devotee should never trust his mind. Now here mind refers to contaminated mind. If the mind is purified, obviously, that mind helps us to go to Krishna. But in general, mana refers to contaminated mind. So indriya are very, very powerful. We should never trust. I am a devotee. I cannot be dragged away. No, hang on a second. Vishwamitra did tapasya for so long. Ajamil did tapasya for so long. They fell down. So many other examples are there. One more point, relation with previous verse. I always try to relate it as well. So 259, what does 259 theme is? What's the theme of 259? With that's 258. 258 is kurma, the analogy of kurma, right? 258. What 258 says, withdraw, withdraw, withdraw. When the attack comes, withdraw, which is correct, right? 259 says, by how long? How long you will withdraw? You will exactly, and that's a solution given in 259. So the thought continuation 258 and 259 is same. Withdraw, 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 give up the sense objects. But they say you cannot give up for a long time unless you have param drashta nivardate. You cannot be continuously withdrawing. You will give in. We are humans. We are just falling all the time. Now 260 says, so 259 gave a solution. But Krishna is saying, if you don't follow the solution, what will happen? You think, no, I can control. Actually, I'm fine. I'm fine. What will happen? 260 will happen. You understand the relation? So if it doesn't happen, param drashta, which means you don't get the higher taste of Krishna consciousness, what will happen? You cannot sustain for a long time. I know many vegetarian families in India, when they come here, they start eating other things. They don't have other taste. Huh? They don't have a logic to stay vegetarian, for example. It's a very simple example, and it applies on so many other things. They change the way they live, they change the way they dress, they change the way they talk, everything changes, except their heart is agitating constantly, agitating. So Indriyani, those senses are very, very strong. They will drag away your mind forcefully. So force is also important. So push it. Although you are trying to discriminate, oh, I can stay vegetarian in Australia as well. What are we talking here? Vipaschetaha, a person who can discriminate, distinguish. Okay, this verse is very clear. The relation is clear. The thoughts are clear. If you do param drashta, you can go higher. But if you don't do it, you will give up. You will give up. Okay, this Maharaj said, if you're going up, suppose you're on a well, he gave this analogy. If you're on a well, a person is holding a rope on top, for example. You cannot stay at one place in the rope. Either you go up or you go down. Huh? So either you are going upwards or downwards. There's no such thing called, I'm fine. There's no such thing. I'm a Hindu. Okay, how long? You will compromise. You will compromise. Okay. 61. That's why, which Sonia is saying, we have to get higher devotee association. Otherwise, we become complacent and we give in. Okay, 261. Let's see here. Mahavasu Prabhu and Pujya Mataji, any one of you would like to do 261?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you very much. So it's text number 61. Tani sarvani samyamya yukta asita matpara vashehi yasya indriyani tasya prajna pratishtita. So in this there are two sentences which is important. First one is yukta asita matpara and second one is tasya prajna pratishtita. So tasya prajna pratishtita means a person who is in fixed consciousness.
260 and 261. What's the relation?
Sorry?
What's the relation, Prabhuji, between 260 and 261? So let's connect this verse with the previous verse.
Yes, but I'm sorry, Prabhu. I'm just only explaining the important words and then I'll go to the connection. Or you want me to do the connection first, then I'll do it other way.
Okay, whatever you prefer to.
Okay, so let's go with the understanding on it.
Yes.
So here in this 61, so there are two important sentences which I picked up. One was yukta asita matpara and second one is tasya prajna pratishtita. Right. So how can a person be with the prajna pratishtita, that is person of steady intelligence, and this is actually verse which talks about how a person is considered to be in a steady intelligence. So Krishna says that who has got full control over the senses, but the most important part is not just controlling the senses. The important part is tasya yukta asita matpara. That means he has to dedicate his intelligence in Krishna. That's why he uses the word yukta asita matpara. That means there is nothing superior. See, because in the previous verses, that is 259, 260, 261, sorry, 260, all these three verses, including 58, it was that first you become a tortoise, like you can do it like a tortoise. That's one option he gave. Second one he said was that you need to develop a higher taste so that we actually live the other one, right? That means we people keep on trying to explore new things. Our taste keeps demanding new and newer things. So what happens is when you try to take the new one, you forget the old one, right? But that's not the solution. then Krishna goes on to say that in 61 is that even if you try to do that way, your senses will always keep demanding and you will be forced to do it. So in any way, your senses cannot be controlled, right? So Krishna is giving a solution. This is a fixed solution in 2.61 when Krishna is saying that you enjoy your senses, but make sure that you do an offering to me, and you understand that the senses can only be controlled only when we engage. That's why I use the word yukta. Yukta means engaging. You engage your senses in sense gratification, but as an offering to me. Then only your mind will be steady, and that's how you can cleanse your consciousness, and that's how you can develop bhakti. So this is how, once we cannot develop bhakti unless and until our senses are satisfied, and our senses will be not satisfied if you don't use the senses. Not that Krishna is saying that don't use the senses. Krishna says that use the senses, but in intelligence. And that's why in the previous verse, he uses the word 2.60, uses the word vipaschitaha, that is full discrimination. What is full discrimination? Discrimination means thinking that what is right for my bhakti and what is not right from a bhakti. So one should have the intelligence, he should use his intelligence in discriminating what is good for bhakti and what is not good for bhakti. So when you have that intelligence and then you actually engage your senses in what is going to satisfy Krishna, and that's how once Krishna is satisfied, our senses are satisfied, and that's why Krishna is called as Rishikesha. So person who is engaged in serving Rishikesha, he will always be having a steady mind. That's how it is. Yukta tasya pratna pratishtita. Then only becomes a man of steady intelligence. Sorry, that's all.
And Prabhuji, you also gave the examples of Ambrish Maharaj, who is the Yukta Asita Matpara, and whereas Durvasa Muni, he wasn't the Matpara, he wasn't.
Although he was a sage who had all the knowledge in the world, but still his senses were not in control because he was not Yukta Asita Matpara. Whereas Ambrish Maharaj, who was the king, who had all the wealth, all the opulence, everything to enjoy, but he used his senses in serving the Lord, and that's how he was Yukta Asita Matpara. Thank you, Prabhu.
Very nice. Thank you. Now I'm looking forward for one more thing, important thing in this verse. Prabhuji explained very
Matpara, is it, Prabhu?
Matpara is done. Right, Prabhuji?
This is the first verse Krishna talks about himself.
Very nice. That's another point actually. I forgot. Thank you, Mataji. First verse where Krishna is saying, Matpara, Mat, mind has come first time in Bhagavad Gita by Krishna. One more thing. Manish Prabhu, you remember another aspect of this verse which we discussed last week?
Not completely, Prabhu, but I think man of study intelligence.
Just 1 second. And let him speak. Oh, sorry, Prabhu, say again.
I think the last one, like pratishtita, fixed.
No, that is okay. So this whole section is about pragya pratisthita. So we are reading different aspects of it.
Yeah.
One more thing. Matpara is done. That's done. One more thing. Sorry. That is Matpara. That's not really. This verse talks about a process of sense control. How do you do it? Now go back previously. 3 stages are defined. Tani Sarvani Sanyamya, the stage 1. Stage 2 is Yuktasit Matpara. In stage 3 is Vashahi Yasindriyani. Now go back to 259 where Kurmunga Dev Sarvasha, withdrawing your senses. But then you say you cannot withdraw for a long time because you don't have a higher taste. Okay, I will withdraw. I agree to your proposal. How do I do it? Isn't it? You give the principle, you give the example, and then you give, how do I implement in my life? Mohit Prabhu, can you make a nice pizza? Okay, now Mohit Prabhu asked me. And I'm like, okay, sounds good. I don't know how to do it. He has to teach me, isn't it? Take this flour, that flour, what do you put, yeast or something? And then put 5 gram yeast and put, warm water and whatever. He has to teach me all that. So this verse tells step by step the process of sense control. Once you agree to the proposal, yes, I'm going to do it. How do you do it? 3 steps are involved. What's the first step? Tani Sarvani Sanyamya. You try to control. Now, many people fall in the stage 1. They don't even try to control. Jahan dekha udhar gir gaye. Hota hai. Wherever there is a pizza, they fall for it. Or pizza means, whatever. They fall for it. Oh, looking so nice. No, you should try. Tani Sarvani. This is not prasad. I'm not going for it. It's not made by devotees. It may be a struggle that time. What will happen? You have to struggle. But how do you struggle for a long period of time? Yukta asit matpara. Just rely on me. And I've experienced many times, if not too many times, you rely on Krishna, things work out. Things work out. You don't understand the full answer, things work out. But you have to try. Now, if you don't try, what will happen? Krishna is there, but you're not trying at all. You just give in, oh, nice movie, nice cricket match, nice dress, nice watch, nice this, nice that. You just give in straight away. No, no. Do I really need it? Is it helping me to become a better devotee? Is this association helping me? Is my trip helping me? If it's not needed. And how do you do it for a long period of time? Yuktasik matla. So this is the second. Then Krishna starts acting in your life. Then what is the result? Then you will be able to control. Isn't it? That's what the purpose is. Then you'll be able to control. Now, this verse does not talk as yet about the positive engagements, except giving a hint, matparaha. Not the process of matpara. See, you rely on me, but how do I rely on you? Do I lean on you? You know, I carry a Krishna deity and I'll lean on Krishna deity. Okay, that also helps actually. But you know, what does it mean by taking shelter of Krishna in matpara? That is not yet explained. The principle is given. You take paraya and take ashray of me. You remember there's a verse, I can't remember the number. It says, Kam Krodh Parayana. People in Bhagavad Gita, is a verse I can't remember. It says they are parayan of what? Kama and Krodha. They are parayan. They take shelter of Kam, like desires, and Krodha. They fulfill their desire, and when they don't fulfill, they are not able to fulfill their desire. What happens? They become angry. You go out, this is what is happening. People are trying to fulfill their desire. You go in bar, at least in the movies you'll see. You want to drink alcohol and probably, you know, feel good about it. And then if someone comes in between, there's a fight. So, Kama Krodha Parayana, but devotee of Krishna is Matparaha, Matparayana. And you read this verse throughout. So, you understand the principle? So, there are 3 stages given to be able to success in what the principle given earlier, which is very nicely explained by Mahaprabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. I just wanted to add that on top of it, because this is what our acharyas say. And then you are tasya pragya pratishtita. What does pragya refers to? Fixed intelligence. Sorry, is intelligence, pratishtita is fixed intelligence. Okay. Hare Krishna, Manish Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Just wondering, the same sort of verse came in 934. Manmana bhav mat bhakto madhyachi mam namaskuru.
Yes.
Would you be able to link it, Prabhu? I think the
yes, so 934 and 1865, if you read, 3 lines are exactly similar. But the word here you can relate, Prabhuji. So what is happening in Bhagavad Gita right now? Krishna is talking more about detachment. He's not talking about positive attachment as yet. So when we go to the 9th chapter, Prabhu, he will give you the process of that positive attachment. Because detachment itself is nice, but if there's no purpose for the detachment, it's not sustainable. As we are talking about the kurma, you can withdraw. You tell your, son or daughter that withdraw. Arey mama, kabhi to khelne do. Sometime you will let me go out and play with my friends. No, study. How long? Not sustainable. Okay.
Sure. Thanks.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Let's move to the next one. Where is my mouse? This is not pragya. Huh? No. It's nothing. Okay, it slept. Little nap in Bhagavatam class, which is normal. I hope people are not sleeping. 262. Now 262, 260. Very, very popular verse. So we did online, offline. Humne kahan kiya abhi? We did online. Offline. Okay, here. Aap karenge? If you like. No problem. We are all learning. It's just your family. Don't feel anything. This is a translation, Mataji. Yes.
While contemplating the objects of sense, the person develops attachment to them, and from such attachment, lust develops, and in the afterlife, lust and the arises.
So first, we related back to the previous verse. Previous verse again, positive, negative. So previous verse was talking. What's the theme of the previous verse? 261. Process of sense control, right? Now, if you don't do that sense control process, so if you do, you're fixed. fine, you're done, sweet, you passed the exam. If you don't know, no, I'm not interested in that. Okay, let's look at the other path. So that's why Krishna is constantly comparing Bhagavad Gita. Take this path, go here. Take that path, go here. That's why this Bhagavad Gita is called the book of choices, not book of commandments. In the Bible, Chaitanya Prabhu was saying the book of commandments. The commandments are you do this, don't do this. But here is the book of choices. You can see that constantly Krishna is giving choices. Telling you do this, you go here. You do this, you go there. Simple. So if you don't do the previous thing, no. Okay, here we go. And Krishna explains the whole process of falling down in the material pool. And this is the first part, which will be explained by Mataji. Yeah. So relation is done. You understand the relation? Now the process. We can pick up the words, Mataji. Dhyayato, dhyan karna. Vishayan, Vishay. Thinking about different objects of our so-called liking. Pumsa refers to the mankind, humans, mankind. Sangha, upajayate, jayate, upajayate. Upajayate means बहुत close से jayate. Jayate means hona, it happens. Upajayate means closely hona. Attachment, sangha. So we develop attachment. So if you think about a sense object, what happens? We develop attachment. Simple example, you see in, not for you, but in general, you see some nice, say, watch or dress or whatever in a catalog. Acha tha. That was nice. Let me look at again. No, this one. Oh, 50% off. Very nice. You walk in the store, and they have, what do you call it? Trial room? Change room, trial room. Fitting room. That's the correct word. Fitting room. And they will give you the dress. Try kar sakte. With any charge? No charge. Go inside, look in the mirror. Look nice. Now what has happened? I'm giving a simple example. The sangha is developing now. So initially there's checking out. Just checking out. I'm just, what do you call it? Window shopping? Window shopping. I'm not doing anything. Window shopping. Actually, they have stolen the concept from Bhagavad Gita. Window shopping is the first step. If you don't do window shopping, you don't even know about the product, then you will never buy it. Anyone advertises for milk or aloo, potato? No, they all advertise for unnecessary things. Aloo is a necessary. You will buy aloo anyway. You'll buy potato and milk anyway. No one advertises for that. Or whatever unnecessary. Special buys in already chips and juice and whatever. Unnecessary. Some things are okay, but most of the things are unnecessary. And then you say, check it out, and then check it out. Touch it. We're talking on Friday class, how do we fall down? 3. Seeing, listening, and touching. You touch, feel, and then sangha is already there. It's nice. It's cheap. Buy it. And then what happens? Sangat, from attachment, sanjayate, bhakti sanjayate develops what? Kama. Kama here refers to not just the desire. So one is a desire, one is desire to get it. I like the house and I'll get it. That sort of strong desire we are talking. So this kama refers to this, what Prabhupada says, lust. Now kama and lust. Now kama, general meaning of kama is desire. Kamna, desire. But kam, when we talk about kam, same kam refers to lust, strong desire to enjoy. I want it at any cost. And if you stop me to get it, krodha vijayate. What will happen? Krodha. And we all experience that. If you want to ever stop anyone, if he or she really likes it, what will happen, Radhika? If Rishabh is asking something and you don't give Rishabh that thing, he gets angry. That's exactly what this verse is saying. Radhika Didi has a toy and Rishabh Bhaiya wants that toy, and Didi is saying, no, it's my time. Rishabh saying, no, I have to get it. You don't give me the toy. Now, for them, the toy may be a doll or something. For us, toys are different. Concept is exactly same. Same concept. That's why it's pumsaha. It's not refers to adults or junior members. Pumsaha, everyone is same. Objects are different. Okay, next one, 263, and we'll relate it back. I have to be very prayerful to this mouse, Bhaiya. They keep going on nap. Okay, 263. Let's go here. whoever, Vijay, Gopi Mataji and Rasanand Prabhuji, any one of you would like to do 63?
Yes, Prabhu. It's actually a continuation from the previous verse of the fall down.
Yes.
So it's talking about, where we left in the previous verse. We are talking about how we are attached or contemplating for some object of senses. A person develops attachment. And from such attachment, lust develops. So that karma, whatever you are explaining now, that lust develops. Once the lust develops, if you're not getting whatever your desire, you're not satisfied, then you're getting agitated or you get the anger, krodha that comes. So this was now highlights on that. From when krodha, when the anger comes, then what happens is one person is completely deluded. Sammoha, it gets into the stage of, perfect illusion. So once he is totally deluded, he is bewildered, his memory is lost. So here it talks about smriti. Smriti, his memory is bewildered. And after memory is lost, then his intelligence is affected, buddhi nashta, the loss of intelligence. So he comes into the state of his intelligence lost, and once the intelligence lost, he totally fall down again into this material world, material pool. So one pranashakti. So he saw once falls down. Buddhi nashta, very important here.
Yes.
Once the intelligence is right, totally he is in the state of bewilderment, is losing his intelligence, and he is lost in the material pool of things. So this is the fall down process, which is the continuation of 62 and 63 verse.
Yeah. Very nice, thank you. Just two more quick things which come to my mind. Sammoha. So moha refers to illusion. What does illusion refers to? Yeah.
Not knowing real happiness.
Not knowing the real happiness. Many times considering what is bad for us as good and what is good for us as bad. You talk to people about coming to temple, chanting and serving Krishna. What is this? You come for a picnic and beach and this and that. They're always ready. 10 o'clock, they'll be there. So many times we get
and what is bad?
things other way. And sammoha refers to completely other way. Samyak moha, sankirtan, kirtan and sankirtan. So krodha, from krodha bhavati sammoha. Now here sammoha also refers to one more thing, which is explained in the sixth step. Sammoha smriti vibhrama. So as Prabhuji was saying, smriti refers to the smriti shastra. What does smriti shastra tells us in this context? What to do and what not to do. Smriti tells us this is good for you, this is bad for you, do that. So due to smriti vibhrama, because he is bewildered, he gets confused, in a state of confusion. Not that he doesn't know. One person doesn't know at all. One person knows, but he gets confused initially. Actually, my father told me not to drink this particular drink, but all the friends are drinking. Maybe I should also try. This is a state of confusion. You haven't committed as yet, right? It's a state of confusion. We all go through it. Our inner conscious always says once, actually you should not do it. But we override it. Actually, it's all right. Everyone is doing it, So what's the problem? You have a problem. I don't have a problem. I can try it out. You see, all devotees go through this. There's a state of confusion, which is called smriti vibhramaha. So this is very, very important stage. Whenever you are confused, Chaitanya Prabhu said in a class, a simple thing, but very nice. He said, whenever you are thinking, should I take more prasad or no? Mostly the answer is no. When you're thinking, should I take more prasad or no? Maybe another chapati or some more rice or another gulab jamun. Mostly the answer will be no, because this is mode of greediness. You know what I mean? But we overwrite it. Chalega. Ek aur gulab jamun. It happens with me all the time. But I'm watching many times. It's so true. It's smriti vibhrama. So not that we don't know. This pride thing is not good for me. This sweet is not good for me. But so confusion does come in the mind. So Krishna is so precisely explaining the stages. Confusion state also come. But after confusion, again, mostly is smriti bhranshad buddhi. So buddhi is which tells you, no, this is wrong for you. Buddhi bhransh means forget it. Ravan was told by so many people not to steal Mother Sita. Marichi clearly told Ravan, I know the strength of Ram. If you, he said in a very nice poetic way, if you don't want to live anymore, basically, he said, you go to Ram. If you have lost the taste of living anymore, then you go to Ram. You know what I'm saying? He still went for Ram. Kumbhakaran said to Raman very clearly, long story short, if I go in the battlefield and I die, please give Sita back to Ram. If I die, means this is a confirmation that you have done the wrong thing. Kumbhakaran said clearly, you have done the wrong thing, but okay, you're my brother, I'll help you. But now, while I'm leaving, I may not come back. But if I don't come back, please give Sita to Ram. He clearly said that. He said many clear things. What happened? Ravana was still chalega. So, Ismati Brahma, confusion state. He got some, Duryodhana also got confusion sometimes. There are many examples. Ismati Brahma, Buddhi Nasho. So, Buddhi was lost. Buddhi was telling. The confusion state and Buddhi Nasha. And Buddhi Nasha Pranashyati. So, the contrary verse in Bhagavad Gita in 9th chapter is Mad Bhakta na Pranashyati. Here is Pranashyati. So, another learning we can take from this verse, if you want to be na pranashyati, not getting destroyed, what you have to say, mad bhakta, you have to become my devotee. There is no other way. You cannot become a yogi or this Baba take shelter of that Baba, this Pantha, that. It's just not possible. Only my bhakta na pranashyati. My devotee will not perish. That means everyone will perish sooner or later. Kansa was a devotee of Durga ji. Did he perish? He perished. Hiranyakashipu was a devotee of Brahmaji. He perished. Who survived? Dhruva survived. He was also lobi. He was a big greedy, but he survived the game because he's a devotee of Vishnu. So Madh Bhakta na Pranashyati. Everyone else, you can say in other way, Pranashyati. And this is the way he will Pranashyati. This will happen sooner or later. Very nice. Move to the next one. If anyone else has anything to share, please do. Oh, there are some hands here.
Question, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji, please.
Prabhu, I'm already in a fallen state. What is the question of again falling down?
So, Prabhu, you're not the only one. We're all with you. At least I'm with you. Others are devotee, I'm not. Yes, we are fallen, Prabhu. You're right. As per the scriptures, we are fallen. But what's the matter of more falling? So now, someone is trying to pull you up. For example, Prabhupada here and other representatives of Prabhupada is trying to pull you up. So they are begging, don't fall more down in the ditch. You're already fallen. Accept first. Many people don't even accept. You go to them and say, please take a book, chant around, come for Bhagavatam class and blah, blah, blah. But they reject it because they are in the stage of illusion and they are falling more down. They're committing more sinful activities. Simple meat eating and all that. They're falling more down. So we are fallen. Suppose we are in a ditch, but by some mercy, we understand we are in a ditch and we are trying to come out. But if we don't follow the path, which is given very clearly, we will go downwards. There is no other way. It will happen sooner or later. So you are humble, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Accept it. My Guru Maharaj is saying it takes courage to accept. So first he's like, take a courage to accept what you are accepting. I'm not a devotee. He said, I'm a weak devotee. Accept it first. First you start thinking I'm a devotee, then it's finished. I'm a devotee. Already I'm a devotee. Like I'm a PhD now. What else do you expect? I'm already a doctor. Okay, nothing else can be said. But when you say accept and say it takes courage. It takes courage to accept. So first we should take courage to accept. We are not so strong. We are weak. We have a long journey to go to. But the good point is if we become matparaha, the process is given and process is not over difficult. See, everything is difficult in the world. Even getting a rental house is difficult. What to speak of buying a house? It's difficult. So even the smallest thing in the world is difficult. Then what to speak of going back to Krishna will not be difficult. It will be difficult. But relatively, the effort you put here can take you back to God forever rather than effort you putting here just to buy some temporary arrangement for our living. Some temporary job, some temporary so-called pratishtha in the congregation. Temporary pratishtha, right? How many people are going to follow you? 10,000, 20,000, 50,000? Then what? Then what? If your desires, your heart does not change. It doesn't matter. It's just a temporary pratishtha. which you are getting actually based on your karma. And they will vapor one day, they will. So we are looking for a very long-term solution. And we are struggling, that's fine. We are proud of that struggle rather than proud being struggle in the material existence. Because this struggle will take us forward. Okay, one step forward in one life doesn't matter, at least some step forward towards Krishna. And Krishna is always happily helping us. Okay, Rupa, Manish Prabhu, you still have questions from the previous question or comment?
No, Prabhu. I had already asked that one.
Okay, your hand is still up. No problem, Prabhuji.
Oh, sorry.
एक second, I'll just take this one, Prabhu. I'll come back to you. Rupa Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Just to add on to what we were talking about Ravana. In one of the lectures I heard, 9 out of 10 heads of Ravana actually advised him not to go with that plan of abducting Mother Sita. Only one head was saying, we'll see what happens.
I'll just expand one more line on that. Thank you, Rupa Prabhu, for reminding. Actually, so Ravana had 10 heads. And we also have 10 heads. I'm not going this analogy, but Ravana had 10 heads. Each head of Ravan, materially speaking, was the most expert person of his time in that particular field. For example, one head was good in politics, one was in economics, one was in warfare. All 9 heads of Ravan said, do not do it, not may not, do not do it. And you know what Ravan's person, the main head said, get lost. Get lost. I'm going to do it anyway. So thank you, Prabhuji. It's a very nice example. So 9 heads of Ravan told him clearly not to do it. Forget about the outside. Even he was saying don't do it. But then he said, get lost. We are all like that. We are all like that. We also say get lost. Just one movie once in a while, it's all right. What's the problem? You're just too much Hare Krishna. Too much Hare Krishna. Huh? Sleeping. This is a good example. If one Ekadashi we don't go, so what's the big deal? Huh? It's okay. Next Ekadashi is always there. Next Janmashtami is always there. Just this Ekadashi, let me sleep. You know what time I slept last night? 2 a.m. You have no mercy on me, Prabhu. Okay. I'll take Mohit Prabhu Mataji and then I'll come back to you. Yes, Prabhuji. Yes. Yeah. Sorry, let's go back. One falls down. Falls down, yeah. Falling down the material pool. Yeah. Fall. Huh? Yeah, fall down basically. But you say, my devotee will never fall down. Pranashati is referring to the protection of your bhakti. You may lose your body. For example, Jad Bharat Maharaj, I should say, he lost his body. He did not lose his consciousness. No? So Pranashati refers just not to saving your body. No, Krishna may save your body, may not save your body. That's not a big deal. As per Krishna's. Now, for us, it may be very big deal, my body. But Krishna is talking, Pranashati refers to your bhakti will never be lost. Neha Vikarma shows your bhakti will never be lost. Body will go. Body will. Prabhupada said, I'm an old man, I will go. From day one, Prabhupada was very clear, I'm going to go, I'm going to go. I'm an old man. Now, Prabhupada, he's an acharya. Still, I'm going to go. So, Krishna is talking, Pranashati refers to the consciousness here. Okay, Sakhi Radhika Mataji.
Prabhuji, like in 61, Krishna is telling that if the senses are fully under control and is fixed upon him, then then a person becomes steady and his intelligence becomes steady. I just had a question that it is like in a process from there that everything which we do, if we offer it to the Lord, it's in the right thing. But how to understand, how to keep a check on the anger, because I've seen devotees get angry, but at the same time it is for higher cause and they know what is best. But as a person like me, just housewife at home, how to keep a check on anger, whether it is causing it is coming from the lust and all, or is it coming is it in the right consciousness? What is the practical tip?
Thank you, Mataji. Very nice question, because it's a very practical question. Encouraged to ask you this question. Yes, we all struggle with anger. Not to speak of anger, we all struggle with lust. Now, the definition of lust will vary, but we all struggle lust. We struggle with greed. We struggle with anger. Now, again, greeds have multiple definitions. Now, let's talk about the anger part, which Mataji just asked. So, the question is how to understand this anger is coming from this fall down stages, or devotees also use anger for the Lord's seva. Huh? So, what's the difference? How to understand this anger is arising from our lust, unfulfilled lust, or we are a devotee and we're using in Lord's seva. So, what is the opinion? We'll work on the process in a minute. Just a general voting. Aapka kya mat hai? What is your opinion here? So I'll just say there's two options. So option 1 is arising from our unfulfilled lust. Option 2 is arising because I'm such a great devotee, I'm using anger in Lord's service. Option A or option B? If you have to understand, your anger is coming from option A or option B. That's the question. So just say A or B. No. First is your unfulfilled lust. And second is you're using your anger for Lord's satisfaction, which is valid. So A or B? Mostly A. A or B? I thought you were a devotee. B. Contaminated mind. Anyone online wants to go for B? You understood my question? B is you are doing anger for the Lord's seva, Lord's satisfaction. A is your unfulfilled desires. So here everyone, one vote, A. So
no, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, I choose B.
You choose B, Hari Bol. You're a pure devotee. Shastra tells the answer very clearly. I've heard this in lectures, and Shastra tells very clearly. In our state, again, it's given very clear guidelines, I think from Radhanath Maharaj as well. In our state, very clearly, we are not in B state at all. Very clearly. B state, you know who was in B state? Who is using his anger for Lord's satisfaction? Hanuman. He used his anger for Lord's satisfaction. Arjun used it. Arjun was not angry. Lord asked him to be angry. Because for fighting, he had to be angry. Here it's other way. Here we get angry and then fight. And there Lord is saying, Are Arjun, you're not angry. How can you fight? Bhishma Pitama, when he was fighting, he was not angry. And Lord is getting upset. You're not utilizing your strength. Duryodhana was also angry on Bhishma, was telling Bhishma, you're not fighting with your full strength. Arjun is using his anger. Hanuman is using his anger. Now, just compare. The answer is quite clear. So, in our situation, advices from our seniors are our anger, mostly we can say almost 100% is due to our unfulfilled ego. I will not say lust here, ego. Now, ego can be categorized in so many different ways. So we get hurt. We get hurt. Our egos are very, very big, very, very big. So our ego get hurt, and then we get angry. How come this happened? Although I expected this A and happened B, because I said it. I have adhikar. I have adhikar on my family, on my community, and I have adhikar. No. We are not having adhikari. Krishna has adhikar. We are prakriti. We are to be enjoyed. So mostly the answer is A. So we have some ego, unfulfilled ego, hearted ego, unfulfilled lust. So it's there can be a whole lot of things said how to overcome on that part. It's a long process. Initially, I think Charu Mataji also asked the similar question last week, how to check on this day-to-day life anger. Matparaha, keep doing lot of shravan, and when it happens, there are a lot of techniques. I don't know how many works, but leave the scene temporarily. Go in the room, chant Hare Krishna and all that. Do not speak. Radha Govind Maharaj was saying in one class how to overcome the anger. So I'll just say what Maharaj said. The first thing you should not do, Maharaj said, do not speak, because you'll get a lot of vega to speak, lot of urge to speak. This is wrong. Just do not speak. If you can follow this one thing, many disagreements can be saved. But I know it's very difficult. Well, I'm repeating Maharaj word. That's why it's not my words, Maharaj word. I don't have realization. The urge comes. This is wrong. Huh? So if you can control anyone, me as well, control that urge. Just do not speak. Don't press the email send button. Just do not. Write it. No problem. No problem. You know, when I write some, I don't even put the email address. I delete it. First I write it. Just in case, you know, I press the send, but I can't undo. Huh? Chalega. Just whatever. Dump your thoughts. No email address under no send button and then sleep. You'll be angry. You're still clarifying yourself. Yeah, that's fine. We'll do it tomorrow. Do it tomorrow. Just delay. Radhanath Maharaj said, delay that response time. Delay the response time from 0 to 5 seconds, 5 to 10 seconds. It's all wrong. Let it be wrong. If the whole world goes wrong, let it be go wrong. Don't have to prove. We are not adhikari to save the whole world or to save the whole family. We are not adhikari. We are not in control. Krishna is in control. It's hard. It's hard. Leave some things on Krishna. Even you think it's wrong, and I have all the good intentions to say, it's okay. It's okay. Krishna has a bigger plan. Okay. It's a whole seminar topic.
No, I'm just saying, someone might be thinking, you know, something, you know.
Radhanath Maharaj said, do not
like you feel. If you are getting angry, your eyes is burning and you are not able to chant next day, that means you are not done for the Lord.
Yeah.
Simple check.
Maharaj said,
if you are able to
if you are getting angry on an impersonalist who was continuously in a group of friends, somebody is talking continuously against these things.
Leave.
We have to keep
leave. Acharyas are telling I don't have experience and realization. We are not able to counter argue many times. Yeah, if you are presented for that seva, do that in a limited sense as per your capacity. Don't take it personal. If you can't respond, it's all right. I'm not Shastrik. It's all right. I do what I do. Come on. It's okay. The whole world is like that. How many devotees in the world, Mataji? 7 billion human beings. How many devotees? Count on your finger. Huh? We are the only one to save the whole world. Prabhupada can do it. Leave it to Prabhupada and all that. Huh? In our stage, I'm not saying don't aspire for these things. In our stage, the safest thing is don't take it to your heart and ego. Hare Krishna, thank you for your nice knowledge sharing. Hare Krishna, we'll see you tomorrow. I have another 5 rounds to chant. The safest thing we are talking, because we have to be practical here. We are not so much Shastrik. Huh? Due to Chaitanya Charan Prabhu and all those. Okay, let's move forward. आज तो कुछ ज्यादा ही मजा आ रहा है पीछे पीछे slow like a kurma. Huh? Already there. See, I've become more kurma. 264 online offline. First किसका नंबर है? Offline. Okay, Mohit Prabhu is the best. 264.
This one basically was a connection before we talk about the positive. Here we can see the positive point after
Thank you.
the negative thing what's going to happen. And then we talk about raga, dvesha, mukta. So raga is attachment, dvesha is detachment. So when raga attachment is detachment, mukti means free. It gets free from Vishyan in the negative sense of that. Acting picture Atma.
Vashya. That's okay, bro.
Atma Vashya with Atma. So basically, it will, when we control our senses, it becomes space with the help of the Krishna and Prashada Madhikachit and Krishna give us that much. So when we get that.
Thank you, Mohit Prabhu. Very nice. Huh? So he's broken up all the words. Huh? So just one more thing I want to add there, Prabhuji. So Rag, Dvesha, this is very clear. So we should be free from Raga and Dvesha. See, these are the 2 most important things. Huh? Now we'll see in 4.10, Vita Raga Bhaya Krodha. So we'll talk about 3 things there. So we'll see in 4th chapter. Here he's talking about Raga and Dvesha. Huh? Generally, we are struggling with this. We are attached or we are hatred towards that thing or that person. Vimuktastu, Visheshena, complete, you can say complete mukta, completely liberated from that. If you are in that state, because vimukti is important, not mukti. Mukti refers to temporary mukti. I am happy and you are happy. You should also be happy when I am not happy. Then you are situated in that platform, isn't it? When I am good to you, you are definitely good to me. But when you are not good to me, still I am good to you. That is a higher state. Huh? And everything is cozy and nice. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, Mataji, how was your day? Everything is nice. As soon as I say something, even if I don't intend, how come? You're a devotee? You offended me? Oh my God. I didn't mean that, but you know. So it says Vimuktastu. Huh? So we are not going to get prasada just for nothing. Huh? Nothing. You can't fool Krishna. Vimuktastu, we are completely free from raga and dvesha. The general default situation, Vishayan, Indriya Charan. Indriya, where does Indriya Charan is? Chalna. Indriya goes towards where? Vishaya. The default situation is to go towards Vishaya. But if you can withdraw and be Vimukta, Atma Shar Vidhe Atma. So Atma refers to you control yourself, like become a Goswami, Vashe, control yourself. Vidhe Atma, how do you control? Vidhi Vidhan. This Vidhe refers to regulations. Now regulations obviously coming from Shastra. So if you follow Shastra, you control yourself, you're completely free from Raga and Dvesha, completely free from hatred. You don't hate anyone, you don't love so much. Then you get Prasadam Adhigachati. Here Prasada does not refer to our physical prasad, which is obviously a part of it, refers to mercy of the Lord. And Prabhupada writes, freedom can obtain the complete mercy of the Lord. And yeah, it's very nice for Prabhupada to the regulative principles of freedom. Regulative principles of freedom. Why Prabhupada calls regulative principles of freedom? Because when you follow the principles, it feels like you're restricting yourself, isn't it? Ekadashi mein ye nahi khana, you don't eat this, don't do this, and don't go there, and don't do. All these feels like a lot of regulations, but these regulations act as a protection. And the simple example given by Chaitanya Prabhu, which is very nice. Your kid is playing in your backyard. If there's a boundary in the backyard, this boundary is protecting the kids, isn't it? Otherwise, if the kid goes on the street, mother and father will be worried because there's no boundary. Mother is constantly looking at a small child. But if there's a boundary, mother is happy. Now the boundary from the child's perspective can be taken as a restraint. Oh, my mother and father is restricting me from the enjoyment. Now, is that enjoyment safe? With the trucks coming, car coming on the road as soon as there's no boundary, Chota beta will go out, and parents are always worried. What is the boundary? So our regulations work as a boundary. Don't eat meat, don't take intoxication and all that. They're like a boundary. So if you don't perform those sinful acts, what happens? We can meditate on Krishna. Otherwise, what will happen? Our meditation will not be fixed. Tasya pragya pratisthita will not happen. So the regulations can be taken as a deprivation, or regulation can be taken as protection. It depends which way you take. Now, generally outside people take as deprivation. All these Hare Krishna, they're deprived of the enjoyment. You ask us, our heart is bursting with joy actually. Every day we go to a class, we go to a program, literally our heart bursts with joy. You go to Radha Gopinath Mangala Aarti. Now, they don't get it. They don't get it. They have no idea what joy. Literally, our heart is blooming with joy. We are happy. We are happy. Now, some things may not go well in our life, but who cares? There's so many nice things. So many nice things. The same example, if you have a 20-course meal, if one dish was not so well cooked, who cares? So in our life, one thing is not correct. Who cares? I have 19, such a nice thing, and they're all eternal. Prasadam adhigachati. You get complete mercy of the Lord if you are situated in that. Through vidheyatma, regulative principles of freedom. That means you cannot be living a so-called material life and become a highly advanced spiritualist. It's not possible. You have to give up those simple activities. Do some right things, regulative vidheyatma. Then you control yourself through rules and regulations. Prasadam adhigachati. Beautiful verse, telling a higher principle. So it's not talking about the process yet, it's talking about the principle. The principle, if you do this principle, how do you control and all that, we'll explain later. But Krishna has given a hint. Matparaha. You attach yourself with me. You take ashray of me. How do I take ashray of you? Multiple ways. I can lean on you. That's also taking ashray. Or I can take ashray mentally, emotionally. When I'm in problem, I go to you, Prabhuji, I have problem. And then you sort of give me solace. It's okay, Prabhu, it's all right. Or you can guide me spiritually. So you can give ashray to me in three ways: physically, emotionally, or spiritually. So how are we going to take ashray of Krishna? That will be explained later. But here the principle is, take ashray of me, I'll take care of you. It's not given as yet. So that's why this chapter is talking more about detachment. The process is not explained as yet in detail. But principle, because Bhagavad Gita is book of principles many times. The details will be given in Bhagavatam. That's why case studies are given in Bhagavatam for that. And the second aspect, which will come in the letter, which is in 7th chapter onwards, is how to attach to the positive rather than saying more to the negative, more no to the negative. You attach yourself more to the positive. No, not this, not this. We're not too concerned about not this. We're concerned about what you can do for the Lord. Come and take prasad. You're eating meat, that's all right. Take prasad, take prasad, take prasad. Come to the temple, take darshan. You're still watching movies, that's all right. It's okay. You will give it up automatically. Sooner or later, it will happen. It will happen. Okay, let's move forward. So this is where we discussed the last week. Now let's move forward to 265. Who has not done as yet?
Yeah, this is again in front of you.
We are actually, we are revising. Mataji already knows. It's okay. It's okay. Yes, we did it 10 years ago. Just for the other devotees online, Mataji is going to revise this verse. We have not done it, but Mataji is sharing her experiences already. No problem, Mataji. No problem.
Prasade sarva dukkana.
Prasade sarva dukkana. Hanirasyo Prasanna Chetaso Hiyashu Buddhi Paryapatistate.
When one is thus satisfied in Krishna consciousness, the peaceful miseries of material existence exist no longer. In such satisfied consciousness, one's intelligence is so well established.
Okay, so what's the connection between this verse and the previous verse? You can tell yourself. So we're talking about you'll get prasad. Now, okay, someone can ask, prasad milega, so what? You're talking, it's the complete mercy of the Lord. People ask these questions. Why are you chanting? Why are you reading? Why are you going to temple? What do you get? That's what they ask. Huh? Itna kya hai? What is it there? So Krishna is explaining, what does prasad mean in your terms? Prasade, when you get prasad, sarva dukkhana, all the dukkha, we also go with dukkha, no doubt about it. Hani refers to honey. Honey means to kill, to destroy. Upajayate, all the dukkhas will go away. Simple. Huh? Next line. Prasanna chetaso hi ashu. Ashu refers to Janiyati Ashu Vairagya 127. Ashu is soon, very, very soon. Huh? We want everything quick. Huh? Quick microwave dal, quick microwave sabji, quick microwave halwa. You get, what do you call these packs in Indian shop? Huh? Quick dal makhani, quick palak paneer. Ready to eat. That's the word. Quick. But what's the result of that quick? High cholesterol, high blood pressure, huh? This and that. You make nicely at home, buy the ingredients, wash nice vegetables, and so different. Ashu, but here Ashu is used in a positive term here. Prasanna chetasa, your heart will become prasanna. So one is the misery goes away. You got some disease in the body, so you got shot. 3 goli lagi. 3 bullets you got shot in your hand. So first thing will be you go to the doctor, and doctor will take the bullets out of your body. You'll feel relieved or no? Yes, obviously, the immediate, that excruciating pain is gone. But are you well? Are you healthy as of now? No, you're not. Your heart is still, body as well as heart is paining. Huh? So it's saying, sarva dukkhana will go away. Huh? All the dukkhas, miseries will go away. And inside, what will have? Prasanna chetasa. Your inside will become very prasanna, very pleasing. Okay, it may take 10,000 years of tapasya. Ashu, very soon. You will become prasanna. You will become prasanna very, very soon. Buddhi parivatishate, when you are established. So you understand the point? When you are well established in Krishna consciousness for a devotee, when you become a nice, sincere devotee, what will happen? All your dukkha will go away, and inside you become happy.
So this is for pure devotees or for everyone, for us?
Yeah, pure devotees. Now for us as well, we get the glimpse. Definitely, Prabhu. So the degree of surrender you have for Krishna, that much reciprocation you get. So when we get a little misery, we get disturbed. But you look at a sannyasi, they get so many big miseries. They are not disturbed in their service. We get disturbed. Aaj flu hai. I cannot come. Prabhuji, Mataji, can you do my seva? I cannot come because I have flu, I have headache, I have this and that. So many things we have. And that may be valid. We don't know the situation, but generally we make excuses because we have some difficulty. Sannyasis don't. Someone having stage 4 cancer, they're still going on and on and on. We just don't stop. You just wonder how do they do it day-to-day life. For us, even little pain is very painful. Yesterday I hurt my leg and I'm like, oh, okay. I walked somehow, but I was able to. I have to go. It was difficult. I'm just saying, very simple example. People have so many difficulties. So, prasanna chetusu hi ashu buddhi parapratishtase. So, I'll read again. Yeah, one more point, very important. Prabhupada, threefold miseries of material existence exist no longer. Now you can say, okay, you become a devotee. Will I not go through flu? Simple example. Devotees don't get flu. Devotees don't get cancer. Yes or no? So how come this statement is true? Doesn't affect your internal consciousness. That's the difference. You'll get flu, you'll get some disease, you'll get hurt and all that. It's just, you're in the material world. It will just happen. You're not out of it. But internally, you're not bothered about it. Like Kunti Maharani was not bothered about the dukkha which was coming to her. What she was bothered about, darshan of Krishna. 1:25, everyone knows the verse. Vipada Shantata Shashvat, Tatra Tatra Jagadguru, Bhavato Darshanam Hishar, Apunar Bhav Darshanam. So what she was bothered about, Krishna, you should not stop giving darshan. And if the Vipada are being the cause of your darshan, let the Vipada come. Now she's not interested in Vipada. What she's interested in, darshan of Krishna. But many times, Vipada becomes the reason for us having darshan of Krishna. We come to a temple many times. Krishna, please. How many times we have experienced that? I have. There's no one else I can talk to. No one else can do anything. Only you are there. We get those moments. But how often do we get those moments? Many times we become complacent. I've chanted my 16 hours. I've done my Bhakti Shastri assignment. I've done whatever my DT worship is. Okay, that's it. Now I have some time. Let's try something else. Pick up a phone and some long conversation, unnecessary conversation. Anyway, all those things. So you understand the point? So material existence, you are there. Some fluctuations will come, externally speaking, but internally, you don't have to. Radhanath Maharaj says very nicely in this material, I can't remember the exact word, but Maharaj said, he says, miseries are inevitable. You will be miserable, externally speaking. But the suffering is suffering is inevitable, but the misery is inevitable, suffering is optional. Thank you, Mata. So misery is inevitable. It will happen. You will have some toothache sometime. It will just happen. But you will not be suffering inside. Why I have a toothache? I'm such a nice devotee. Okay, someone had a question. Sakhi Radhika Mataji.
Prabhuji, I just in like the text 65, I felt it's a goal this thing, because it reminds me of two people whom we are seeing who were like on this planet. One was Bhakti Tirth Maharaj and second one is Kadam Kanan Maharaj. Last time in the New York Rath Yatra, he like his whole class was so overwhelming, and when I saw him doing the kirtan, it just material existence exists no longer for them. Miseries of material existence is just so much tangible to see someone while reading this is something which got I got goosebumps reading this. So it's not that, I mean, the importance or the, what do you call, this verse is so true. I can feel that while reading this. So yeah, I just thought I can share that. Yeah, yeah.
Just theoretical, which we read, Krishna spoke. We can see live example. Bhakti Tirth Maharaj.
His Holiness Jaipatak Maharaj is also a great example.
Yeah.
So all these great examples we can see live in front of us right now. We can go and meet with Maharaj, we can touch Maharaj's feet, and so it's not just theory. So they exist in the material world. They are also having some so-called bodily problems, but regardless what they go through with the body, they're still going on. Like they're doing like 5 programs a day. I'm like, can't even think. Still 70% not accepting any medication or not take medication. Yeah, okay. Thank you, Mata. That's nice. Examples does help us. So when we are into little trouble, should not be bothered so much. We should just continue. Some things will be nice, some things will not be nice. What can we do? Our devotional service should never be stopped. Just make one point in life. Whatever little we do, we don't do too much anyway. I don't do much. Make a point. I just have to do it somehow or other and pray to Krishna. Krishna helps. Krishna helps. Definitely Krishna helps. The intense our prayers, the better the reciprocation. Be practical, but at the same time, do it. Do it. When Mataji Prabhupada disciple, she told in a class, I heard somewhere, now she is old, but she was explaining when she was young, she was married and she had probably 6-7 kids, a large number of kids. I can't remember the number, but large number of kids. But she had taken initiation before having kids. So obviously she had to change 16 now. So she was sharing her experience when the kids were born. Mothers are very, very busy, and many of you can experience, have taken an experience of that. So Mataji was saying, but because I have taken a vow of chanting 16 rounds to Prabhupada, I never skipped my chanting. Now, my chanting was anytime, anywhere. She said, anytime, anywhere, I will put my hand in the bead bag. Anytime, anywhere, I'll put my hand in the bead bag. I will never let my 16 rounds go away. Never let my 16 rounds go away. And she had at least 5+ kids. Many kids she had. But she said, anytime, I like that. Now, it wasn't about the quality and all that. Oh, so many kids and I'm depressed and this and that. She said, no way. No way. 5 kids, no problem. No problem. Anytime, anywhere. I followed my vow. I really liked the conviction which she had. Anytime, anywhere, but I did it. Now, we're not talking quality here. I'm talking the commitment part here. So we should never let any excuse come in our life, any excuse for not doing these right things. There's nothing like that. And if you cannot do it, go and cry in front of Krishna. Just cry. I'm so funny. If you do not cry, then I think others should cry. What's the point? What's the point? You should cry that you can't cry. Very nice. Thank you, Prabhuji. Viraj Prabhu says you should have a desire to go back to Godhead. We don't have desire. I don't have desire. I may talk about it. I don't have desire. But he said, have a desire to go back to Godhead. One day I'll have a desire to go back to Godhead. So we should cry. We should cry. Yes, mother.
When we say that the equation system is well established, does it mean that we are talking about the equation being
Yes, definitely. All these verses Mataji Prabhupada has spoken when you read the purport. Prabhupada is talking bhakta, devotee. Sure. Okay, let's move forward to 66. Where are we? Okay, Shraddha Mataji, Hare Krishna. Nice to see you. Hare Krishna Mataji. So would you like to read 266, Mataji? Just to give a background, she is very good in Sanskrit and singing and all that. So I'd like to hear from you. 266, if that's okay.
Yeah, sure, Prabhu. Nastir buddhi ayuktasya.
Naste buddhi ayuktasya.
Nacha yuktasya bhavana.
Nacha yuktasya bhavana.
Nacha bhavayatah shante.
Nacha bhavayatah shante.
Ashantasya kutah sukham. One who is not connected with the Supreme in Krishna consciousness can have neither transcendental intelligence nor a steady mind, without which there is no possibility of peace. And how can there be any happiness without peace? Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So now previous verse was saying, Hani Rasya Bajayate, all Prasadesa Dukhanam, Hani Rasya Bajayate, all the Dukha will go away, right? Miseries will go away. Now, other way, positive, negative, 266. Na asti buddhir ayuktasya. So if your buddhi is ayukta, we're talking the word yukta, yukta asita matpara. If your buddhi is with Krishna, right? Now here saying ayukta, your buddhi is not with Krishna. Nacha ayuktasya bhavana. Bhavana refers to the mind. So Prabhupada writes in the translation, bhavana, fixed mind. So your buddhi is not with Krishna. Your mind is not with Krishna. Now what's the difference between buddhi and mind? We all understand? Mind is like a temporary front end thing, and buddhi is the back end thing. Buddhi sort of stores your positive and negative experiences and tells you what to do, what not to do. If you have, simple example, hot milk, if you have burnt your rasna with the hot milk, next time your buddhi will say, oh, the milk may be too hot. Hindi mein kya kehte hain? Doodh ka jala chhach bhi phunk phunk ke peeta hai. So that's buddhi telling you. Mind is like, oh, very attractive herbal tea, for example. Buddhi will say, no, no, just stop, just wait. Khichdi, very nice khichdi. Buddhi will say, just stop. So two things are there. So mind gets attracted very, very quickly, but buddhi should guide the mind. Do it or not do it. Here, two things are ayukta with Krishna. What is the first one? Na asti yukta buddhi. Okay? And the second, ayukta, so you see the word yukta is used. The first line, the second line. First is buddhi, second is bhavana. Buddhi refers to intelligence, bhavana refers to the mind. So your mind, neither your mind nor your intelligence is with Krishna. What will happen? Nacha abhavayatah shantir. You will not be shant. You will be agitated because you are not with Krishna. Is it true? We experience that when we are not Krishna conscious, we are agitated. In terms of maybe having a lot of desires, maybe having anger, maybe having frustration. But when we are with Krishna, when we are in temple, listening katha, kirtan, talking about Krishna conscious topics, we are shant. Those moments are very peaceful moments. So Krishna is saying, if your buddhi and mind is not with me, you'll not get shanti. And if you're not shant, if you're not peaceful, kutaha sukham, how will you be happy? So basically the bottom line, if you say the crux of this verse, to get sukha, I'm going other way, what you have to do? Put buddhi and mind with Krishna. We put buddhi and mind with what? Money. How to earn more money. Now previous verse, I was just thinking my contemplation only. Prasade sarv dukhanam hani rasya bhajate. So abhi, what's the current trend? Paisa sarv dukhanam hani rasya bhajate. If we get paisa, we get money. That's what we think. All the miseries will go away and we'll be very sukhi. Now, which billionaire is sukhi? Tell me one name. One name. No billionaire is sukhi. Now, Ambarish Prabhu, Alfred Road, he is sukhi because he is yukta with Krishna. He is billionaire and he is sukhi. So the sukh paribhasha, the definition of sukh is not money. Definition of sukh is what? Attachment to Krishna. The verse is saying, your buddhi and mind both should be attached with Krishna. Then what will happen? You'll get shant. Then you'll be happy. Now externals may vary. That's all right. Internals will be shant and sukhi. You see devotees, they're always blooming with sukha. The sukha is coming from attachment with Krishna. Not that bodily, their body is fine, their wealth is fine, their health is fine, everything is broken, they're still happy. Bhakti Tirth Maharaj, I remember every morning he will say, oh, today also I have not gone back to Krishna. He was suffering, bodily speaking, like anything. His cancer was very bad cancer. He had a temperature of say 50 degrees. If you touch his tummy or his body part, you'll get burned. He's still happy and shant. Now, how many of us can be shant in that situation? Just imagine. You touch him, you're like, oh my God, it's burning. And he is having that body constantly 24/7. He was completely shant. Every morning you say, oh, today also I have not gone back to Krishna. Oh, I'm seeing the sun again. Krishna has not taken me back as yet. Okay, next day. Completely shant, ready to go, ready to go. Okay, 266. Let's move forward. Who will go here? Offline. Prabhuji, would you like to do? Oh, is it? Sorry. My mind is sleeping. That's fine. Indriyana charitam yanmano anuvidhiyate Tadasya harati pragyam Vayurnavam ivam hasi.
Keeps away a boat, the water, even one of the roaming senses on which the mind focuses can carry away a man's intelligence.
Very nice verse. This is a very practical verse. So Indriyanam hi chartam. Anyone can translate that? Chartam, chalna, going. Indriya are going. Senses are going. Yan mano anuvidhiyate. So anuvidhiyate, Prabhupada writes, constantly engaged. Mana refers to the mind. So if your mind is constantly engaged outside in the Vishaya, this, constantly engaged. And senses will go. So first you will think in the mind, let me go to whatever, Switzerland, Perth, wherever, right? Your mind is engaged. Aisa hoga, waisa hoga, this will be there, that will be there. You are in the dream world, huh? So if that happens, tadasya harati pragya. Pragya refers to intelligence. You remember? Tasya pragya, the whole section is about this pragya. Tadasya harati. Harati refers to har lega, kidnap. Kidnap, what it will kidnap? Pragya, intelligence. So if Indriya are constantly engaged outside, what will happen? What will the result? It will steal away your intelligence. And the example, analogy given by Krishna, very, very nice. Vayu navam ivam bhasi. So Vayu, everyone understands Vayu, air, wind. Nav, everyone knows Nav, a boat, a little boat. So as Vayu drags away the boat, so if a boat is going in a river or ocean, for example, if a strong wind comes, what happens? The boat gets swept away. You cannot control the boat anymore, isn't it? It's a simple example. If a strong wind comes, I've heard even big ships get blown away in the ocean. Big ships, they have full control. They have this GPS and that GPS. They can't, they are turning the wheel doesn't turn because the winds are so strong. So what Krishna is trying to say, Vayu refers to the wind of desires, and now refers to our situation, and the ocean refers to the material world. So we are all in the material ocean, isn't it? We all agree with that. And we are having a very little dinghy. It's called dinghy, a small boat, huh? Very little dinghy. And you're in a big ocean. If a Vayu comes, what will happen to us? You'll just go here and there. Wherever the Vayu is taking you, if the Vayu is say north, you'll go towards north. If Vayu is towards south, you'll go towards south. So Vayu refers to desire. So if your desire come in this ocean, material ocean, they will drag you in that direction. I want a car and I must get it. No one can stop me. Oh, you have a car. It's okay. It works. No, I want that better model, huh? Or car equals to whatever. So if the desires come and you go in that direction, what will happen? You'll never reach to your destination. You're coming from Hornsby or somewhere to 185 Falcon Street. On the way, you think, let me try this samosa from West Ride, for example. Just a little detour. You go for a samosa, then you go for a dosa, then you go for, let me look at the weather, this and that. And by the time you come to temple is closing. So this Vayu refers to the desires. So if you want to go to your destination, you have to control the desires. Now, you can say, I'm in a little dinghy, as you said. I cannot control the Vayu. Yes, you cannot control the Vayu, but you can change the type of Vayu. So here Vayu refers to our desires in the material world for sense gratification. But what we can do, is another analogy given in Shastra, the Vayu of Shastra. Vayu of Shastra. When we follow that Vayu, what will happen? Will we reach to the destination? When we follow the Vayu of Shastra. If Shastra is saying go there, you go there. If Shastra is saying turn left, turn left. If Shastra is saying turn right, you turn right. If you are under the control of Guru, Sadhu and Shastra, will you be safe? Yes or no? Because that Vayu is a favorable Vayu. But this Vayu of desires here refer to material desires, not spiritual desires. So basically, whatever you desire, you go in that direction. Today, I want to have dal makhni from restaurant A. You order dal makhni from restaurant A. Tomorrow, I want, what do you call, noodles from restaurant B. Every day, you're going here and there. Just one example of eating. That can be dressing, that can be house, that can be job, how I look and how I speak and blah, blah, blah. You're just lost. You're just fulfilling your desires. You're not reaching to the destination. Huh? So Indriyana Vichartam Yanmanu, constantly engaged in fulfilling those desires. What will happen? You'll be swept away. You'll be swept away. Clear? Read it again. As a strong wind sweeps away a boat on the water, even one of the roaming senses. Now this is important. Even one of the roaming senses. Huh? Even one sense is out of your control, it will drag the boat down. It says even one hole in the boat. Is it helpful? Your boat in the water have, I only have one hole, Prabhuji. Oh, really? He has 5 holes. Whose boat is going to drown? Both. You have 1 hole or 10 holes. Both boats are going to drown. Yeah, he will go sooner than you, but you will also go. So don't be proud. I only have one problem. I only have one problem. They have too many problems. But the end result will be exactly same. No matter where you are and how you are, your end result is going to be the same. Okay, let's move forward.
Why is it material desire now?
Yes.
What is 45%?
Vayu of Shastra.
No.
Now this us. We are the little jiva in the material food trying to fulfill the desires. So why you come compared to us? Yes.
And
What's material existence? Material existence in the ocean. 268. No problem. 268. Who has not done as yet?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please. Jai Prakash Prabhuji, please.
Tasmadyasya mahabaho nigrahitani sarvashah indriyani indriyartebhyasya tasya prajna pratisthitah. Therefore, O mighty armed one whose senses are restrained from their objects is certainly of steady intelligence.
Yes. Tasmad, therefore, Asya Mahabaho. Mahabaho refers to Arjuna. And what does Mahabaho mean? A very mighty person. What's that movie name? Bahubali. Bahubali. I've not seen it, so don't ask me any question on the movie. Something related. So Mahabaho. I'm sure there will be a hero with the big biceps in that. Huh? So Arjun is referred to as Mahabaho, not because he had big biceps. Huh? Arjun was obviously very, very big warrior. But here Mahabaho does not refer to the physical look of the person. What it refers to here, oh mighty armed one, your might is not just determined. Okay, in today's world, your might is determined with your biceps. Huh? You wear a tight t-shirt with a six-pack. Huh? You show to the world how many muscles I have. But they are actually very insignificant. Here we are talking spiritual muscles, the muscles of your intelligence. How much you are able to not give in when the temptation comes, isn't it? When someone is trying to provoke your anger, can you be peace and calm? How long? Isn't it? That's called the real might. So your might is not determined with your biceps. Your might is determined with your determination of not giving in when the temptation comes. Is it clear? That is called Mahabaho. So Tasmad, therefore, Asya Mahabaho, Asya refers to whatever we have spoken. Nigrahitani Sarvashaha. Please control. How many Indriya you have to control? Out of 10, how many Indriya you have to control? 1, 3, 7, 10. Sarvashaha. Sarvashaha. I control the senses of my taste, but my eyes and ears are still open. I still listen blasphemy. I still criticize. I still see something which I should not see. But I eat Krishna Prasad. Will that do? Will that do? Sarvashaha. Nigrahitani. How many Indriya we have to nigrahi? Sayam, regulate. Sarvashaha. Indriyani, Indriyartebhya. Now this word is repeated. You can see in the previous verse as well. One of the previous verse, I don't remember the number, but you can find out. So Indriyani refers to Indriya. Sense Indriyartebhya. Indriya Artha. Indriya Artha is, where's the Artha? Artha refers to Hetu, business, sense objects. So senses and sense objects. I see a nice thing for my eyes, for my ear, for my taste, and I give in to that. So Indriyani Indriya. So Nigrahitani Sarvasha. All the time for all the Indriyas, we have to do Nigraha. Tasya Pragya Pratisthita. Then you are situated in fixed Krishna consciousness. Okay? And Mahabharata refers to not the external physical Shakti, the strength. We're talking the internal determination here. Okay. 269. Anyone left here? Ujjwal Mataji? Yadisha Sarva Bhutana Tasyam Jagrati Sanyami Yasyam Jagrati Bhutani Sadasha Pashyato Muneha.
What is right for all beings is the time of awakening to self-control, the time of awakening for all beings to the impossible.
Yeah, very nice verse. Again, very popular verse. Ya Disha. Disha refers to Dishachar. What is Dishachar? Dishachar. Disha mein chalne wale.
Animals are people who grow in the night.
Yes, thank you, bro. So Disha refers to the night. So Ya Disha, What is Nisha? What is night? Sarva Bhutana, for all the living entities. What is night for all the living entities? Tasyam, that one, Jagrati Sanyami. Sanyami refers to that Muni, which we are talking in these verses. Sanyami, just Sanyami, one who is regulated, one who is fixed in Krishna consciousness. Jagrati, he is awake. So what is night for all living entities? That time he is awake. Yasyam Jagrati Bhutani, the other time, these Bhutani are Jagrati when they are awake. Sa Nisha Pashito Mune. To that, this Muni sees as night. So now, are we talking about physical day and night here?
Yeah.
You are in America, 12 hours behind. I'm having a daytime, you're having a night time. So you're sleeping, I'm awake, or other way. What is it referring to?
The interest what material people have.
Thank you.
Stage will not have that interest.
Thank you, Mataji got the gist, huh? So for the things where all the people, roughly all the people take the interest, a sage, let's start on the second line. Yasyam Jagrati Bhutani. Jagrati refers to interest of our activities. Again, movie, going out and buying, shopping, this and that for unnecessary reasons. Shopping is not bad. We also do shop. A lot of shopping we do for Krishna. The shopping itself is not bad, but unnecessary, I mean. Yes, they are very active in that, very, very active. Ye karna hai, wo karna hai, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to achieve this, check this place out, check that place out. Yes, I'm Jagrati Bhuta. Sa Nisha, not interested. Not interested. When we sleep, we don't do many activities. So Muni, Pashyato, he refers to those activities as Nisha, not interested. But other way, Ya Nisha Sarbhutanam, Ya Nisha Sarbhutanam refers to again Krishna conscious activities. You tell your friend, come to the temple. My Prabhu keeps inviting many his friends to temple. How many come? Not sure. What do you do in the temple, man? Every day you go to temple. You chant 2 hours every day. One sound vibration. Hurry, really? Are you mad? You get up at 4 a.m. What about your health? You're fasting today, your productivity will go down. You're going to India. Where are you going to go? Bombay? No, I'm going for Yatra. Mayapur. Hey, yaar, you become completely abnormal. This Hare Krishna has brainwashed you. So they consider this as Nisha, sleeping active. They're not interested in that. We go into so many programs in Damodar. How many come back after that? Very few, very, very few, very, very few. Nisha, they are Nisha. They're not interested in these activities. These Hare Krishnas, they are mad. I don't want to be mad. You may be mad. I don't want to be mad. I want to enjoy my life. Enjoy. Come on. Enjoy the life. Ya Nisha Saruputana. Is it clear, this verse? So, Rastananda will say no or yes?
Prabhu, we can't understand this verse, Prabhu. Very difficult to.
Okay, so Prabhuji, basically the activities which interest a materialistic person, as I said, for example, shopping or checking out these places, getting a newer house, newer car, and blah blah blah. For those activities, a Muni is considering as Nisha. I'm not interested in that. But the activities which materialistic people are interested in, X, Y, and Z, Muni is not interested in that. So both area of interest is exactly opposite. For example, you are chanting n number of rounds every day, you're following certain rules and regulations, you're doing some deity worship in the house, you will have certain rules in the house that, will not wear shoes in the house, you will take 2 baths a day or something like that. When you explain this to your karmi friends, I'm sure you don't have any, but they will get surprised on you. Prabhu, kya ho gaya? What happened to you? When you went to Australia, you were okay. But after going to Australia, bigad gaya hai. He got spoiled in Australia. That's what they say, bigad gaya hai. Now here, bigadna is in another way. Many people said about me, ladka bigad gaya hai. Yes, he's going to too much temple. He's getting in too much of association of Hare Krishnas. We all get abused, so no problem. Prahlad also got it. So it says in Shastra, you will get it. Prabhupada got it. So who are we not to get it? So the area of interest is quite different. And when you invite them for Hare Krishna program, do they come enthusiastically? You have to drag them. Prabhu, aaj Janmashtami, today is Janmashtami. Please come, please come, please come. They think we are asking for donation. We are not talking any donation. Just come and take something from Krishna. Take prasad, take darshan, enjoy the festival. Go. We don't want your money. If you want, you give, but we're not asking anything. But they think, no, we are mad and we want to make them mad as well. Is it okay, Prabhu?
Okay, Prabhu. So night refers to the material activities, Prabhu.
Yeah, the area of interest, you can say, area of interest. What spiritualists will be interested in, karmis will not be interested in, and what karmis are interested in, spiritualists will not be interested in. Huh?
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Mahavasu Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. I always had this question in my mind as to why did Krishna speak this verse at all in the first place? Because yes, I understand the fact that yes, he's talking about controlling the mind, controlling the senses, right? And I also understand the fact that he's talking about the materialistic, he's talking about the yogic, I mean, the person who is not into sense gratification. I can understand that, but then why is this verse? Because if you see this verse, I always found it's out of context sometimes. Because it's very like in depth. I don't say it's out of context in the other sense, means I cannot digest the fact why this verse is here. Because it's like every time in the previous verses so far, Krishna is talking only about the sense control, sthita prajna, so many other objects. Then where he comes to this, he says Gyanisha Sarva Bhutani. Then that is probably one of the thing I find it difficult to understand. And the most important part is one of the important verse in 108 verses of Prabhupada. It's included in that. So well, yes, your explanation is all good, but still I cannot justify why Krishna actually used these words. Why he has to put this, what you say, as anatomy or some sort of thing. Why he had to use this in this.
Thank you, Prabhuji. It's a very practical question Prabhu is asking. So Prabhu, we go back to the basics. Which section we are reading? Can you please see your mind?
We are talking about Sthita Dhir Muni. We are talking about Sthita Prajna, how the person controls.
Yes, Prabhu. So that's correct. Within that, there are 4 questions which Krishna is trying to respond.
Yes.
What is the last question, Prabhu?
Viskim Brajeta. How does he speak?
How does he go around in the world, right?
Yes, very true.
And I think we did some explanation. How does he go around in the world, which is full of temptations? Huh? When you go out, Prabhuji, to your work, you go to the city, many billboards are asking you, buy me, buy me, buy me. Huh? Many advertisements are trying to take your attention. Huh? Do this, but you only do, Prabhuji, what is necessary for your work, right? You also buy things, for example, but you buy not everything which is advertised. You buy what you need to buy for your work or for your house, right? So similarly, your goal is very clear. You also go and engage with karmis. They may be having, meat and other things, for example, but you deal with them appropriately, right? Now, you don't get dragged away in their parties. You try to drag them in your parties. Yesterday, you had a party. I'm sure you would have invited few people. Now, how many came? That's a second thing. But, and they think you are mad and you think they are mad. Both thinking about each other. You to pagal hai. Huh? But the point is, from both perspectives, I'm saying you're not interested in their activities, right? When they invite you for a whatever office party, for example, when we get invitation, we feel like we are punished. Just let us go. They talk about 5-course meal, free 5-course meal from company. Come to us, I'll give you 20-course meal for free. So we are not interested. That's the whole idea, Prabhuji. So this is one of the things which Krishna is explaining to Arjuna. How does he go around in the world? There will be a lot of areas of so-called interest. This Muni considers them as Nisha. It's a sleeping time for me. I'm not active in that state. But what Muni is interested in, other beings will not be interested in. Is it okay, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu, convinced, right. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Is it okay if we do 2 more verses? Because we started quite late today. If someone has to go for some service, please feel free. Because I think this today starts 4:35. So let's do 3 more verses. They are not big verses. My mouse bhaiya slept again. Okay, awake. My Prabhu drishti is so strong, looking at it. Yeah, he looked at it and started working. Okay. So Prabhuji, you have a question.
Sorry, Prabhuji, I had the question.
Yes, Mother, please.
Prabhuji, I couldn't ask in 2.68 when you were mentioning. I was a bit late to ask a question.
No problem, Mother.
So in the last line in 2.68, when it says, that only Krishna consciousness is the one really established in intelligence, and that one should practice this art under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master is called a sadhaka, or a suitable candidate for liberation. So, Prabhuji, so sadhaka is also considered as a suitable candidate for liberation. I thought a devotee is the suitable candidate. So, could you just explain this particular line, Prabhuji?
Thank you, Mataji. Nice question. So basically, Mataji is asking from 268 from the last two lines of Prabhupada. I'll read it. This art, under the guidance of bona fide spiritual master, is called a sadhaka and a suitable candidate for liberation. So Mataji's question is, how come a sadhaka is considered a suitable candidate for liberation? Yeah, so that's the question. So we are all sadhakas. Sadhaka means one who is doing sadhana. So we are all doing sadhana. Now, many times, if not all the times, we are doing sadhana not because we are interested in sadhana. We are doing sadhana because we are told to do sadhana. And by some mercy, we understand later on the benefits will come. Benefits of Krishna Prema we are talking, not other material benefits. So in NOD, in nature of devotion, our situation is compared to a green mango. Now, green mango is not a ripe mango, but it is potential to become ripe if it goes on a right path. Is it right? Huh? So we are considered as green mango. So green mango has all the properties to become a ripe mango if it gets a proper nourishment, proper environment. So if we continue our sadhana under the guidance of our seniors, again, Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra, we are potential candidate for. So one day we will become a devotee, and then that time, that day, we will be liberated. Is that okay?
Yes.
In short, yeah. Sure. So we are sadhakas, we are trying. So we have passed the entrance exam, for example. Pass the entrance exam here means we accept the authority. Say Prabhupada, for example, what he said makes sense to us. We like it. We may not be too much deeply attached as yet, but we like it. So we are going in that direction. And if we keep following Prabhupada's guidance, for example, through his books and other things which he told us, one day we will become devotee and then we'll be liberated. Right now, we are not there, but we are on the path. So we are studying medical. One day we'll become doctor. Our Dr. Prabhuji is here, Manish Prabhu. He worked pretty hard, he's still working hard. He was telling me one day I have to pass so many exams. I'm like, Prabhu, how do you study? For me, attempting exam is very difficult. I'm sure you're also looking at me. Yes, exam is always difficult. But we have to do it for a higher purpose, isn't it? Manish Prabhu, I'm sure you're still doing it.
So, I think it was easier to study medicine than Shastra, honestly.
No, I find it other way. For me, material education was too difficult. Shastra I enjoy actually. Anyway, we all have some taste. Otherwise, you will not be here, Prabhu. You will not be here. You have some taste. We are all deepening our taste with the help of each other. Okay, 270. Kiska number hai? Anyone here? Kanishka Mataji. Just looking on the screen randomly, if or Amar Prabhuji. Okay, may have submitted. Divya Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Apuryamanam Achala Pratish. Sorry, Prabhu, I don't know the tune for this.
It's a big one. Apuryamanam
Achala Pratishtham. Samudramapa Pravishanti Yadvat. Tadvat Kamayam Pravishanti Sarve. Dashanti Mapnoti na Kama Kami. Translation: a person who is not disturbed by the incessant flow of desires that enter like rivers into the ocean, which is ever being filled but is always still, can alone achieve peace, and not the man who strives to satisfy such desires. Thank you, Prabhuji.
So Purya, Purna, complete, Apura, complete achalam pratistham. So chala and achala, tishtha is situated. So achala pratishtha is steadily situated. What is that? Samudram. So you see this again, analogical verse. Samudra is always steadily situated. Although apaha, constantly the rivers are flowing in, many bodies of water are constantly flowing in. Pravishanti, enter into it. But does Samudra ever cross the boundary? They say, okay, I've got too many input today, so I have to output, like, too many floods coming out. No, tsunami is not a general concept. So generally, so many rivers flow into the Samudra, into the ocean, but ocean does not cross the boundary ever. So apuremana achalam pratistham samudram apaha pravishanti yad tadvat kama. So similarly tadvat kama yam pravishanti sarve. So in a person, in a muni, kama, desires, pravishanti will enter. Desires will enter from outside. So suppose you are walking on the road, some product is advertised. Can you stop seeing that billboard? You can't walk blindfolded. You have to walk outside. You have to engage with the people appropriately. So some desire, some output will come to you inside. Tadvat kama yam prashanti sarve. But usually what happens, we respond to that. We respond to those desires. Oh, let me buy this product. It's so nice. That's our response. One is input, one is output. So input you can't stop, isn't it? What you're going to see on the road, can you stop that? You're driving a car, you have to see the road. But how you respond to that, that you can control. So how does a samudra respond to the incessant flow of the rivers inside? He does not cross the boundary. So he is what he is. So when the desires are coming, like rivers are coming, how does a muni respond to those desires? He is steady. He is steady. He is not disturbed. Or just because I've seen 5 advertisements, I give in to those. So tadvat kama yam pravishanti sarve. So if you don't go desire output, what happens? Shantim apnoti. Apnoti refers to I get it. What do I get? Shan. And you can also feel on Ekadashi, suppose Nirjala Ekadashi, I'll be giving a very practical example forcefully, but we are not supposed to eat, right? And many of us did that. That day, actually, our chitta was more shan than other Ekadashis. Other Ekadashi were thinking, what can I make tomorrow in Ekadashi? Goranga potato, buckwheat khichdi, this pie and that pie, Ekadashi obviously, this pizza. But on Nirjala, there's nothing to be made. You're shant actually. So actually it's very nice in one sense. Kurma Prabhu was saying, you should all do Nirjala Ekadashi, Abdi Ekadashi. You'll be very peaceful. He was saying in a class somewhere. And it's so true. You don't have to think much that day. Can I use jeera? Can I use this haldi? Then I use this salt and that salt. Nothing. Free. Shant. So just a simple example. So shant. So you will get shant. If you don't respond to desires, output, you'll become shant. Otherwise, na kama kami, not the person who's trying to constantly fulfill the desires. So a person, suppose, sees lots of things, he's trying to buy and trying to accumulate. Will he be shant, or a person who sees the thing but does not give an output? Who will be shant? Who will be peaceful? A person who does not respond. Now we are talking a higher perspective. Is it okay? So shanti mapnoti, he will receive shanti. Na kama kami, not the fulfiller of the desires. So if you're always trying to fulfill your desires, you'll not be shant. Okay, I'll stop here. If there are any questions, I'll take. All happy? Actually, we are unhappy. I went over time today. I usually stop at 6:15. Okay. Next time we'll try to follow some guidelines.